Over the years in the NASCAR Cup Series, there's only been 15 drivers who have won their first career Cup win at a road course. Today we're going to dive into every single driver that has won their first career race at a road course. The first driver on this 15 driver list is Mark Donohue, nicknamed Captain Nice, only made 6 starts in his Cup career, all for Penske, and he won his first and only race in 1973 at Riverside. This was also Roger Penske's first ever win in the Cup Series as an owner. Mark was an engineer and a driver in his career, raced in the Can-Am Sports Car Series, IndyCar, F1, Trans Am Series, and NASCAR throughout his career. He had won the Indy 500 in 1972, was a developer and driver of the Can-Am killer Porsche 91730, which won the 1973 Can-Am Championship where they won 6 of 8 races. In 1975, he died from a cerebral hemorrhage after a practice crash in the 1975 Austrian Grand Prix. He was only 38. Our second winner on this list is Tim Richmond. Tim had won 13 races in his Cup career. 5 of them came at road courses. He swept the Riverside races in 1982, with the spring race marking his first career win. Even though I can't find footage of this race either, on Racing Reference, Tim took the lead away from Terry Labonte late in the race, led the last 6 laps, and won. He had won at Riverside 4 times in his Cup career and once at Watkins Glen. He had also came from IndyCar just like Mark Donohue, and unfortunately, Tim Richmond did not finish his racing career because at the age of 34, he passed away from HIV. In 1983, both Riverside races had first-time winners, the first being Ricky Rudd, who won 6 road courses in his NASCAR Cup career. 2 of them came at Riverside, Watkins Glen, and Sonoma each. He also got the nicknames The Rooster and Ironman throughout his career. Rudd passed Tim Richmond for the lead on lap 49, and a few laps later, Tim Richmond crashed with some lap cars. This then brought out a caution, and then afterwards, Ricky Rudd, after the restart, led basically every single lap after this and won his first career race.
Moved over to the right, dove down to the inside, and just flat blew by Tim Richmond under heavy braking. And look how deep he has to drive the car into the corner. Well, coming to the stripe, Ricky Rudd is your leader. He carries, and Harry Gant is down the pit lane. Yes. We have a crash. Tim Richmond involved in the crash. Terry Labonte involved in the crash. Your second place runner has been involved. Trevor Boyes involved in the crash. Number 9, he looks sharp. The Monte Carlo SS, the Piedmont pacemaker, the pride of Chesapeake, Virginia, is on his way. You have to have feelings and emotion for a young driver like this who has persevered and persevered, and he's around for the finish. Harold Kinder waves a checkered flag. He has his hand out of the window for Ricky Rudd. It's his first victory ever coming here at Riverside, California.
Ricky Rudd had previously raced in motocross and karting before entering the sport. Ricky then jumped to NASCAR with no stock car experience in 1975 and ended up finishing 11th in his debut at Rockingham. The future Hall of Famer would race in the Cup Series for 8 seasons before his first victory here at Riverside. The second first-time winner at Riverside in 1983 was legend Bill Elliott, who had only won a single road course in his entire Cup career, and that ended up being his first career victory. In a wild finish to sum up the season, Darrell Waltrip was fighting for the championship and the win at Riverside. He was fighting for the championship with Bobby Allison, who was not in the fight, at least at the end of this race. But Darrell and Tim Richmond were battling in the closing laps when the caution came out for rain. Darrell and Richmond were battling, coming to the caution flag into turn 9, and they were trading back and forth. As Tim Richmond went for a crossover move, exiting the final corner, they made contact.
Got fuel, and now here goes Waltrip in the lead.
Darrell Waltrip down the inside, and caution is coming out. They're wheel to wheel. They're racing back to the line. This could decide it. There is rain on the track. Waltrip was told to go for it. Here comes 27 back. They're racing out of the corner. They're sideways. Waltrip is sideways.
Benny Parsons going to win the race.
Parsons is coming down. Number 55, Benny Parsons, is across the line to win it.
This would lock up the championship for Bobby Allison, and Benny Parsons would inherit the lead after this. Bill Elliott would sit in second. It eventually stopped raining, and NASCAR decided to go green midway through the final 5 laps. And coming into turn 9 or the final corner again, Bill Elliott throws a dive bomb on Benny Parsons and passes him for the lead. With 4 laps to go, it started raining again, and NASCAR threw the caution with 3 to go. Bill Elliott raced back to the caution flag and coasted to his first ever Winston Cup victory.
Down off the turn, Bill Elliott's number 9, and here's the battle as we watch those cars out back slithering out of the corner. Elliott's won it. Parsons is coming across in second, and at third it will be Neil Bonnet. Fourth is going to be Earnhardt. Fifth will be Richmond at the line. What a quest this has been for this team. a family effort. They rent one car when they come to the track, and that's it. They keep the whole crew in it. You'll see as many as 8. Gosh, I hope the officers didn't hear about that. Getting back and forth to the track, and usually it's an economy car. There's the crew, and there's the checkered flag coming out for Bill Elliott, who has just won his first race in his Winston Cup Grand National career.
Bill Elliott had made his debut at Rockingham in the 1976 season, and he had finished second 8 times in his Cup career before achieving his first victory. Next up is Steve Park all the way into 2000. He had only won 2 races in his career, coming at Watkins Glen, and the other was 2001 at Rockingham the week after Dale died. Steve Park inherited the lead under a caution in the second half of the race, ended up leading the final 27 laps of the race, and held off a hard-charging Mark Martin for his first career victory.
Right front.
Steve Park is headed toward his first NASCAR Winston Cup victory, but let's not give it to him yet. Through turn number 10.
One more to go.
And Steve Park is going to do it. Steve Park is going to win the Global Crossing at the Glen, his first NASCAR Winston Cup victory in his 77th race.
Juan Pablo Montoya is the second driver on this list who came from open wheel racing. He had a very successful career in IndyCar, winning 2 Indianapolis 500s in 2000 and 2015, along with a championship in 1999. He was also a very successful Formula One driver and picked up 7 wins. In his first full season in the NASCAR Cup Series, he passed Jamie McMurray in the closing laps at Sonoma and barely had enough fuel to coast to his first ever Cup Series career win.
Trying for the lead, and Montoya's got it.
That was a nice pass.
5 or 10 car lanes, so we can save a lot.
Final turn into 11, then the short jog for turn 12. Juan Pablo Montoya coming to the checkered flag. The fuel lives, and Montoya wins at Sonoma. That's amazing.
That is amazing. And there's a
Great job, everybody! Hell yeah!
Juan Pablo Montoya only won 1 other Cup Series race in his career, and it came at Watkins Glen in 2010.
Marcus Ambrose came from the Australian Supercars, being a 2-time champion in 2003 and 2004 with 28 wins. His best finish in the Bathurst 1000 is 4th in 2004. He came over to NASCAR to race for Richard Petty Motorsports and won back-to-back races at Watkins Glen for his only 2 career Cup wins in 2011 and 2012. He would battle with Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski in a green-white checker, which is ironic because they did the same thing in the following year. The caution comes out after multiple crashes in the last lap, including David Rudiman having a savage crash exiting turn 1.
Here comes Ambrose hard in the throttle. A little bump there, a little nudge. Have to know Kyle Busch is going to be close here too.
Clear.
Tell you what, Ambrose better get down in this corner good, or Brad's going to be all over you.
Oh, big crash in turn number 2. David Rudiman.
Oh, looks like Tony Stewart out through the grass in the inner loop.
And back through traffic. Caution is out.
Yellow's out.
Race is over. Marcos Ambrose is your winner.
AJ Allmendinger came from Champ Car and won 5 races, all coming in 2006 before moving over to NASCAR. As of today, AJ has won 3 races in his Cup career, all coming at road courses: Watkins Glen 2014, the Indy Road Course in 2021, and the Charlotte ROVAL in 2023. AJ would bloom late in the race, leading most of the closing laps at Watkins Glen, and on a green-white checkered restart, he would battle with Marcus Ambrose and hold him off for his first Cup victory.
And he might have it here. Up, a little contact. He's got him out of the groove. Pushed him up the track.
Right side. He got him. Just you and him there.
Not over yet, though. Gets a left-hander coming up. Allmendinger's in the best spot.
Not giving Ambrose any pavement to work with there. Allmendinger holds the lead. Here they come to the white flag. 1 more lap to go. What a drive, what a race, what a victory. AJ Allmendinger is a NASCAR Sprint Cup Series winner.
Yeah! You are awesome. I love you guys! Thank you!
Chase Elliott battled through numerous heartbreaks through the first couple years of his young Cup Series career, and then finally, at Watkins Glen in 2018, he would break his winless streak and win his first ever NASCAR Cup Series race. Chase would battle with Martin Truex Jr. all day long, and it came down to the closing laps where they were both extremely tight on fuel. Coming into the last lap, they were only separated by a few car lengths, and rounding out of the carousel, Martin Truex Jr. ran out of gas.
He looks to be in great shape, but the mistake that he made in one again cannot be replicated here in turn 6. Truex is out of fuel. Truex is out. Now Chase can just cruise to victory lane.
His spotter lets him know.
15 out the back already.
He's out of fuel. Chase Elliott comes out of turn number 7. The crowd roars. They're going to see for the first time Chase Elliott win in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
Excellent.
Elliott would coast to his first ever Cup career win, and it would be the 250th win for Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports. Keep in mind also, this marks the only father and son duo on this list, as Bill Elliott did the same at Riverside 35 years prior. Another crazy parallel to also keep in mind is that Chase would tie his father with 8 runner-up finishes before they both secured their first NASCAR Cup Series victories.
Out of all the races he could have won, Christopher Bell won his first career Cup race at the Daytona road course in 2021. Coming from dirt racing experience, this seems quite odd. Bell with a banged-up car passes Joey Logano coming to a white flag to claim his first Cup victory.
Blaney had a struggle, could not slow the car down, gave the 9 car Chase Elliott an opportunity last lap.
So that's metal on metal under braking for Joey Logano.
Man, the same block.
This might be way more aggressive a block. He's there. Christopher Bell is there. What's Joey going to do down here in this chicane? Oh, man, I think he's got him.
No, not so. Does.
Logano doesn't have the brakes to hold off Bell. Chicane, and in his 38th start,
Good job.
Christopher Bell scores his first career win, and it comes on the Daytona road course.
Oh my God. Thank you guys. Great job, Adam. Great job, Hickory.
In the NASCAR Cup Series, Ross Chastain currently only has 1 race victory on a road course, but it would end up being a very special one for the watermelon farmer from Avila, Florida. In 2022, at the Circuit of the Americas, Ross had an incredible battle on the last lap with AJ Allmendinger and Alex Bowman. At the end of the stadium section, AJ would give a bump and run to the number 1, and then in the second to last corner, Ross gave it back to win his first ever Cup race.
Under him.
Oh, my God.
Chastain's going to have to move them both. You're going to have to move them both.
Oh,
he is.
Oh.
And around goes Allmendinger off the bumper of Chastain. And Ross Chastain beats and bangs his way to turn 20 and off the corner to the checkered flag.
Daniel Suarez is the first international driver on this list who didn't come from another racing discipline, and also won their first career Cup race at a road course, coming at Sonoma in 2022. Suarez has 3 career Cup wins, the other 2 being Atlanta 2024 and the Coke 600 at Charlotte in 2026. Daniel Suarez led a staggering 47 of the last 50 laps, and in a dominating fashion, won his first Cup race.
Through turn 10 for the final time, headed for the hairpin and home. Well, the Fox season opened with Pitbull doing a concert at the racetrack in the Coliseum. He's a partner in Team Trackhouse. And through turn 12, Daniel Suarez is a NASCAR Cup winner.
The only year ever with 3 first-time winners at road courses is in 2022. Tyler Reddick is the first non-Trackhouse winner this year, and he wins his first career race at Road America. Right after the final set of pit stops, Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick came off pit road and were separated by a couple of car lengths. 2 laps later, with 17 laps to go, Elliott locks up entering turn 5, and Reddick takes full advantage. After Reddick took the lead, he didn't look back and led the rest of the race to claim his first Cup victory. Reddick won 2 more races for RCR in 2022, one of those being at the Indianapolis road course.
With that organization, and now he's looking to become the 13th different winner in 2022 through 18 races. Tyler Reddick is going to win his first ever Cup Series race.
I love you, man. You're my hero. Great job.
Shane Van Gisbergen, who has had an extreme amount of success in the Australian supercars, has been a 3-time champion 2016, 2021, and 2022, has achieved 80 wins, 48 poles, and 3 Bathurst 1000 wins, one on his debut in NASCAR's inaugural street course race at Chicago in 2023. After a rain and wreck-filled race, Shane would battle for the win in a late race restart with Colleague Racing's Justin Haley. They traded back and forth for a few corners, but Shane pulls through and takes the lead.
But here he comes, battle for the lead. Shane Van Gisbergen to the inside and to the lead off turn 2 with less than 5 to go here in Chicago.
But Haley is right there. He's coming back to the inside through turn 3. He's going to retake the lead. That's 91 back to the inside into turn 4. The crossover move. He is now clear into the lead. Gisbergen off at turn 5, down the long straightaway.
Shane would have to hold Haley and the rest of the field off for one more overtime restart, and then he became the first Cup driver to win on his debut since Johnny Rutherford in 1963.
The 75th anniversary of NASCAR, and it has been 60 years since a driver has won in their series debut. Well, through turn 11, Shane Van Gisbergen has been perfect. He has navigated the streets of Chicago to perfection. The final time, onto the front stretch. He comes to the checkered flag. He's won the very first street race in NASCAR.
If you haven't realized, the early 2020s were home to a solid chunk of these first career Cup winners at road courses. We went back to this drought because after Shane Van Gisbergen won his first Cup race, he got signed full-time to race for Trackhouse, and he has been lights out ever since, until last week.
Even now we're 3 wide, SVG to the outside. How's this going to work out?
I'm quite curious. SVG hangs on in his spot. Contacted off the wall in turn 1. Big crash here on the restart.
Shane was involved in a mid-race restart crash that ended up taking him out of the race and blew the race wide open at NASCAR's inaugural race at the San Diego naval-based Coronado Street Circuit. Part-time driver Cory Heim, who has had an extreme amount of success in the Truck Series, races for 23XI in this race. And these cars were strong. Heim and his teammate Tyler Reddick, who was a familiar name on this list, were battling late when Heim pounced on an opportunity to take the lead after Reddick's mistake.
Heim is right there. Turn 3, up to turn 4. Look at Heim going after Tyler Reddick.
Contact, but he's going to have the acceleration and the inside line going into turn 5.
How about this? He waited, then he pounced. Crossover, here comes Reddick, inside turn 5.
Oh, he pushes him wide. Heim's in the dirty stuff, bounces off the wall.
Cory Heim, race leader from 5 to 6. With just over 2 laps to go, this is remarkable.
Heim would then pull away, and Reddick ended up having a tire go down, so he ended up being out of it. And this meant that Cory Heim would cruise and would win the 4th ever NASCAR Cup Street Course race and the first race at Naval Base Coronado. Crazy fact, all 4 of 23XI's cars were in the top 5 before Reddick's tire went down, but what an upset for the 23-year-old.
Paint scheme, and a young superstar is going to get it done. In his 13th career start, it's Cory Heim who will win at Naval Base Coronado.
Victory lane.
Ten wins in 2026 for Denny Hamlin. 4 behind the wheel, 6 is an owner. 5 for Reddick, and today for his young phenom Cory Heim, who is letting it rip at the start-finish line in Coronado.